This is an aerial view of Jurupa Hills High School in Fontana, San Bernardino County in 2011, 10 years ago. And this is the neighborhood today. More than 20 warehouses now sit within a mile of the school, and there are plans to build more. Fontana has been called California's epicenter of warehouses. There are more than 50 of them, including centers for UPS and Amazon that take up more than 16 million square feet throughout the city. That's like 4.5 Disneylands. Their existence helps make it possible for us to buy something online and have it arrive at our door within hours. But all these mega warehouses come at a cost.
We're seeing thousands of trucks per day. Because they're right next to homes, it just spews all of these toxins right into your backyard.
The warehouses are getting very close to our communities and our schools. We have our students surrounded with warehouses.
Physicians have coined a phrase for the unfortunate properties that now neighbor the warehouses: diesel death zones. It's not just Fontana. Just look 10 miles east. I'm standing in the passenger terminal of the San Bernardino Airport. It's totally empty. This place was supposed to offer flights to destinations such as Mexico. Instead, the community got something else entirely. Amazon and others plan to use the expanded airport as a West Coast cargo hub to feed the demand of online shopping.
We know we can't shut this down, but we want to get something that would benefit us.
California's Office of Attorney General has taken notice of both projects, filing lawsuits against the city of Fontana and project developers in San Bernardino, challenging the warehouse and airport expansions.
I think this is another example of California leading the way, of showing what's possible.
I'm Evan Halper with the Los Angeles Times, and I'm reporting on California's novel efforts to help communities overburdened with pollution fight back. In the last decade, the Inland Empire has become a national logistics hub, due in part to the abundance of cheap land and its proximity to two major ports.
A lot of those imports, they get unloaded at the ports of Long Beach and LA, and they go through LA into Riverside and San Bernardino, and then from here, either through trucks or through freight, are pushed out to the rest of the country.
For the city of Fontana, that has meant the building of dozens of warehouses, often backing right up to residential areas and schools. In April, the city approved a new warehouse alongside Jurupa Hills High School, where 2,000 students are predominantly Latino and 83% of them qualify for free or reduced price meals. This caused an uproar. During a city council meeting in June, 53 community members spoke out against it because of the traffic and pollution it would cause.
PM 2.5 concentration is considered to be damaging to lungs when it's greater than 2.10 micrograms per milliliter. In Fontana, that level is 12. It's 12. If we put this warehouse in, we're going to have 2.5 levels as high as China. You understand, it damages us forever.
It's obvious that the southern residents have it worse. They bear all the burden of the warehouse industry, the shipping industry, Amazon. It's all in the south. It's all in the lower income areas, and it's messed up, man.
It's working out for you elected officials. It's not working for us.
The meeting lasted 3 hours.
Our concerns have fallen on deaf ears. We want a sustainable community, one with, where we can walk and breathe, and it doesn't seem to matter.
In the end, all but one city council member voted against the appeal to stop the project. But the project caught the attention of California's Attorney General, whose Environmental Justice Bureau filed a lawsuit against the city of Fontana in July, challenging the project.
There have been multiple warehouses already built near this community that was impacted, and there's 2 public high schools here. And so when the Slovan Oleander Warehouse project was proposed, and it was expected to add a really high pollution burden, approximately 114 daily truck trips, 272 daily passenger car trips, we got involved.
The more traffic that we have, the longer those trucks idle while they're sitting in traffic. And so it spirals. It's the traffic that then contributes to the air pollution.
The surrounding neighborhood is already more polluted than 97% of the census tracts in the state. Meanwhile, Fontana's mayor, Aquanetta Warren, takes pride in her moniker, Warehouse Warren.
Fontana is open for business.
The city clearly benefits from these relationships. This year's State of the City address featured a gospel choir, barbershop quartet, and whatever this is.
You got to have friends.
Mayor Warren says that the warehouses will bring jobs to Fontana, which was struggling with high unemployment levels before the warehouse boom started about a decade ago.
Many think of these buildings as just warehouses, but they are job centers. I want to change the narrative right now. They are job centers.
Members of a local union agree. They were also present at that June City Council meeting in favor of the new warehouse project.
Personally, myself, I know and a lot of other brothers and sisters in my union have literally seen projects similar to this save people's lives last year during the pandemic.
These are the jobs that keep my members and my union brothers alive every day.
Our issue here with the warehouse development is ourselves. If there wasn't a demand on online shopping, we wouldn't have a need for warehouse development. So if we don't want warehouse developments, then we stop buying online.
But some say these warehouse jobs aren't good jobs.
I know the quality of these jobs and I see the high turnover of people. Like, people don't last. And so...
yeah, it doesn't provide for sustainable living.
We want jobs that pay decent wages so that people can actually shop in our community. They can rent apartments in our community so that they could afford to live here. The warehouse jobs do not do that.
In nearby San Bernardino, an expansion of the airport was approved in December of 2019 that would host a 658,000 square foot air cargo warehouse for Amazon, drawing 26 flights and at least 500 truck trips daily, on top of the traffic already there from UPS, FedEx, and others. Then the Attorney General's office stepped in, accusing the Federal Aviation Administration, the local airport authority, and the project developers of overlooking the high asthma rates and other health problems suffered by the San Bernardino Muscogee community. Cal EnviroScreen ranks the community in the top 5% of the state's most polluted areas, and more than 95% of the people in the mostly Latino community are living below the poverty level.
It's an environmental, justice issue. They see the land, they want to use the land, but then they also see people as cheap labor.
These have been communities that don't look to government for support because they haven't gotten support from government. We want the jobs to be created, we want the project to go forward, and we want it to be done in a responsible way.
Both lawsuits are still in court. Mayor Warren described settlement conversations underway in Fontana as substantive and meaningful. But she also said her critics are blaming warehouses for environmental problems that predate their construction. Fed-up residents, meanwhile, say they are encouraged that they are no longer shouting into the abyss.
To have the Attorney General's office be involved in this case and file a lawsuit against the city of Fontana is very validating. It sends a very loud and clear message that what the city is doing is not right.
To learn more, read the full story on LATimes.com and check out my United States of California series about the impact of California's agenda on the rest of the nation.